Okay, so now I move on to my last round game, round 5 in this Michigan Class Championships. It was against Josh Postuma, and he was rated 1924, and quite young and quite aggressive playing player. He began the game with 1 d4. I played knight to f6, c4, g6, knight to c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, and then c3. So he's playing the Samish variation of the King's Indian, which I'd actually planned on playing as white myself, so I thought it was kind of interesting playing against your own opening in a way. It's never pleasant to run into this, and I think looking back on it, I think I've been happier playing d5 against him. This whole game I'm defensive, and even in the final position, I felt like I was just trying to hold on and not just get rolled right off the board. So an incredibly well played game by Josh in this, and something you probably even add your own opening repertoire just watching his moves. So I castle, he plays bishop to e3, I play e5, then I play c5, just trying to lock up the center, and this kind of begins to look like a check Benoni, only again he's got that pawn on f3, so it's still the Samish theme there. And I'm just not sure if I can attack on the queen side fast enough, so I end up trying to hold my king side here in a minute with knight to h5. And then I come up with this idea. He plays the right move there. He's keeping my knight out of g3. He doesn't want me to stop him from castling. But anyway, I go ahead and play this idea of bishop takes bishop and then my queen up, with the idea of just trying to end the king side assault. He castles, and when I played queen g7, I fully expected Josh, based on his attacking style so far, to play the queen back to either d2, e3, or d2. And instead he went ahead and exchanged queens, and I thought, okay, now I'm playing a relatively young opponent. I'm just going to go ahead and play for a positional advantage, and probably I was thinking at the time I'll probably just win this game pretty comfortably. No real reason behind that besides the fact that I just had my pieces on the squares I wanted to put them on, and felt like I had some advances coming, like maybe f5 and b5. I just had the squares and the pieces where I kind of wanted them. But as we'll see, Josh just continues attacking g4. I play h5, bishop over to h3. I play bishop d7, and then rook over to g1. I capture with the pawn. And I'm kind of thinking that capture is going to help maybe slow things down, and now if he pushes h5, I can play g5, and hoping, of course, that g5 doesn't become too weak. So he plays knight in, play my rook over to help maybe stop that potentially going to be passed pawn on the h file later on. He plays h5, I play g5, and then I expected him to maybe play like the rooks over to f1, pile up, and try to apply pressure to f7. But instead he went ahead and played f5, knight to f5 immediately. And in the game, I played bishop takes knight based on the idea of keeping a knight in a closed position. But based on the position that I get later on in the game, I think I would have much rather had my bishop to help out with that b5 advance than my knight. So I play bishop takes, pawn to f6, knight into e4. My knight goes back to e8. You can kind of see how I'm already pretty pinned down here. He plays rook over to d1. He's got an aggressive sacrificial idea with this of maybe capturing on c5. And then after my recapture, pushing the d-pawn forward. And you mentioned that had I played a move like a6 in this position and not knight to a6 as I did in the game, that he was actually going to capture with the knight and go ahead and try pushing that pawn and making my position a little bit uncomfortable. So I played knight to a6. He played the bishop back. I played king to h6 just to kind of hold that passed pawn and also make a square for my rook to move up and get to the queen side to defend those pawns. Rook to h3, and then I played rook to h7, and looked at position for a while, and I decided to offer my opponent a draw here. And I think I offered a draw partly just from not having anything active that I thought I'd be able to do in the game. If you notice, he's got ideas maybe of moving his king up and playing his rooks to the queen side behind those pawns, marching them forward. But I feel like if anyone has play, it's white, and the reason is that h-pawn. This h-pawn is going to keep my king or some piece of my camp tied to the defense of that pawn queening, which means I'll always have one less piece to play with on the queen side. And also, you notice that because of the knight on e4, he's got multiple ideas with that knight. The knight's not necessarily stuck there attacking, but he can keep my knight defending for as long as the knight is there, and then he also has sacrificial ideas. So, in the computer's analysis of this position, after the game I went ahead and put it on my computer, it's got him a pawn ahead, so he's got a clear advantage here, and I was fortunate that he agreed to a draw in the game. And that concludes my games for this tournament. So, as you saw, I had a couple opening wins, but besides that, not a whole lot of exciting chess from me. I mean, I think my opponents all played very well, and just looking forward to playing more chess this year, and hopefully not finding myself in positions like this again. So wonderful job to Josh for getting this position against me, and then hopefully in the future, maybe just go after the win here, maybe instead of accepting the draw. I think you were a little bit better here. So anyway, thank you for watching these videos, and look forward to seeing you on my blog soon.